You signed nothing, but somehow you're already part of the experiment. You wake up under white lights that never blink. The room has no corner, just smooth walls and cameras. A speaker cracks alive above you. Subject is conscious. Not your name, not even a number, just subject. You try to sit up, your arm hesitates first, like your body needs permission you didn't give. You search your memory. Last thing you remember, paperwork, a simple volunteer program, easy money, short-term commitment. Now there are no doors you can see, only observation, and someone is already writing something down about you. What did you agree to? You sit across a clean desk, papers stacked neatly. The recruiter smiles, calm and practiced. He says it's standard research, government approved, you'll be compensated well, safe, confidentiality required. Programs like this existed for decades. Cold War recruitment ads promised money for harmless participation. You skim the pages, legal language, dense, intentional. You don't read everything. Nobody does. The number at the bottom catches your eye. That's what matters. You sign. At first, it feels like control, like you made a decision. But later, when they take your phone, when they drive you somewhere you don't recognize, you realize something uncomfortable. You don't remember agreeing to any of this. You thought you chose this, but that choice disappears fast. You wake up and sleep on their schedule now. Lights flick on without warning, off just as suddenly. There are no clocks. No windows, no natural cues. Your sense of time starts slipping almost immediately. Controlled environments are standard in research. They remove outside variables, light, noise, human contact, but nobody tells you how fast your mind unravels without them. Meals arrive through a slot. Always the same tray, always silent. You try counting hours, then meals, then breaths. Eventually you lose count of everything. You start wondering how long you've been here. Days, weeks, or just one very long, stretched out moment. You stop asking the tough questions. They never answer anyway. Days blur. And you stop knowing when anything begins. They bring you into another room, colder, sharper. Machines line the walls like silent witnesses. They attach sensors to your chest, your head, your fingers. Every movement tracked, every reaction measured. Military research relies heavily on baseline data. Heart rate, reaction speed, stress responses. You press buttons when lights flash. Repeat patterns. Solve simple tasks under pressure. At first it feels like a game. Then the pace increases. Faster prompts, louder sounds, brighter flashes. Mistakes get noted immediately. Nobody tells you what you're being tested for, only that you need to perform. You start trying harder, competing against something unseen. Your own data becomes your opponent. But then you notice something strange. They're not correcting you, they're just watching. You're not being tested, you're being analyzed. They give you a pill, no label, no explanation, just a cup of water and a nod. You hesitate. Programs during the Cold War explored chemical effects on cognition. Some aimed to understand behavior under altered states. You were told this was safe, controlled, monitored, so you take it. At first, nothing changes, then everything does. Sounds stretch. Time bends again, but differently now. Your thoughts don't line up the way they used to. You try to focus on a question they ask. Halfway through, you forget what it was. You laugh. Then you don't know why you laughed. The room feels distant. Like you're watching it happen, like you're not fully inside your own body. They write things down faster now, more interested than ever. You want to ask what they gave you, but the question dissolves before it forms. Your mind stops feeling like it belongs to you. It starts small, a tone plays, you press a button, you get a reward, simple. Then the tone changes, slightly different pitch. You hesitate, you get nothing. Behavioral conditioning has long been studied in military contexts. Reaction shaping, pattern reinforcement, controlled responses. The patterns grow more complex. Images flash, sounds repeat, words echo endlessly. You're told to respond instantly. You begin anticipating before thinking, reacting before deciding. They introduce discomfort when you hesitate, remove it when you comply quickly. Over time, your brain adapts. You stop questioning the patterns, you just follow them. Even when they don't make sense, you realize something unsettling. You're not choosing your actions anymore. They're not testing you. They're rewriting you. Last year, sleep becomes optional. Not for you, for them. They keep you awake longer than feels natural. Lights stay on. Sounds never fully stop. Sleep deprivation has been studied for its effects on cognition. Decision-making breaks down, memory distorts. You feel it happening. Your thoughts slow, then scatter. Simple questions feel complex. They ask you things repeatedly. Same question, slight variations. You start answering differently each time. Not because the truth changed, because your mind did. Loud noises interrupt your thinking, sharp enough to reset your focus instantly. You begin saying things just to move forward. to reach silence, even for a second. You stop trusting your own answers because you don't know if they're real anymore. You don't know if anything you say is real anymore. They stop calling you anything personal. No name, no nickname, no acknowledgement of who you were, just subject. Isolation studies have shown identity weakens without reinforcement. Without interaction, your sense of self fades. You feel it. Memories become harder to access. Not gone, but distant. You try recalling your life before this. Details blur, faces fade. You repeat your name in your head, over and over. But it starts sounding unfamiliar, like a word in a language you forgot. They give you tasks now without explanation. You complete them without asking why, because asking feels pointless. You look in a reflective surface one day, barely recognize the person staring back. You're no longer a person, you're a variable. The tests change again. Now it's about response, immediate, precise, automatic. They give you commands, short, direct. You follow them without hesitation. Highly classified programs often study operational readiness, how fast someone can act under pressure. You don't feel pressure anymore, just action. A command is given, your body moves, no pause, no debate. You notice it only afterward. You didn't decide, you executed. That realization should scare you, but it doesn't. Because even your emotional responses feel muted. You stopped choosing and didn't even notice when. One day it ends. No warning, no explanation. They return your clothes, your belongings, things that feel foreign now. You step outside for the first time in what feels like forever. Sunlight hits differently. The world looks normal. Too normal. Programs historically ended with release under strict secrecy. Non-disclosure, silence, reintegration. You try to walk like you used to, talk like you used to. But something's off. Sounds feel sharper, movements feel delayed, people feel distant. You catch yourself reacting too quickly to small things, turning your head before you think. You don't tell anyone what happened, because you're not sure how to explain it. Leaving was supposed to end it, but it doesn't. Time passes, weeks, months, maybe longer. You try to rebuild your life. Routine helps, structure helps, but certain things break through. A tone, a phrase, a pattern. They trigger something automatic. You react before understanding why. Long-term effects from past experiments have been documented. Stress responses, memory gaps, behavioral changes. You feel all of it. Not constantly, but enough. Enough to remind you it never fully left. You start questioning everything. Which thoughts are yours? Which reactions were taught? And then one day, you're walking past strangers who feel completely normal. A voice behind you says, "Subject report." Your body almost turns before your mind can stop it. You freeze, because for a split second, you were ready to obey. And that's when you understand the truth. You didn't leave the program stayed inside you.